Hey TalkLife, hope you're having a great week. It is Halloween and we are taking some of your questions. I asked you on TalkLife a couple of days ago, what do you want to discuss? What should we be talking about? And you fired a stack of content at us. So we're going to work through some of that, but Halloween is here. It's not a big thing in Australia actually, but it is...
Well, I don't think it's a big thing in the UK either, but a couple of people when I posted yesterday said that actually it is, so maybe I'm just missing something.
I feel like we're becoming more like the US now. I think people are decorating their houses, lots of people are going trick-or-treating.
Yeah, every street in my house has got decorations.
Every street in your house?
Every street in my house. That doesn't make sense.
Steve, have
every
some
house
coffee.
on my street. Yeah,
there's no decorations here. No, there's no decorations here, but... it is Halloween. We're going to London later, but not doing anything really. But I'd love to hear what you guys are doing. I'm going to dive into some of our latest updates because there's some really cool changes coming to TalkLife over the next couple of weeks. We've got some amazing new UI. I might be able to show you. Can I show you? I think I can show you. We've got a brand new feed design coming, which is cool.
Yeah, really cool.
We've got a brand new search page that's coming, that's easier, it's cleaner.
Yeah, I think that looks really good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Can't see that, I'll put it in after, we'll put it in post. And we have a brand new feed post view page coming, which is really nice as well. And I really like the new colours. We've got set dark colours and set light colours, so that's cool. We also have a wellness centre that's going to be able to be found on your right-hand menu. I really like this idea of the wellness centre. It's content that we're going to be sharing that's on sleep.
We're going to start with sleep. Because I don't know whether the clocks have gone back for everyone in the world, but the clocks have gone back here and everyone's kind of got into hibernation season. So we're going to start off by sharing in this wellness centre some tips on how to get a really good night's sleep and how to feel good about yourself throughout the whole day. Sleep is super important.
Yeah, and then exercise, diet, we'll put some content up around body image, self-harm, harming addictions, and all sorts of good stuff that we think is helpful. And at the moment, there's not really a spot in the app to share that content. So
be a helpful resource for people, like users, to go to and find those things that maybe you've been asking questions about anyway on the feed, but you might not have found the answer. There'll be something there on that menu.
If you guys have things that you want us to include in that centre as well, let us know and we can work on it.
Let's go through some of your questions. I'm just going to scroll through the list. I'm not going to get time for all of them, but I will do our very best.
There's 111.
There's 111. We're not getting through all of them, but let's start with Bella. Please, please, please remove the mood option in category 2. The one which comes before posting. They irritate me many times. I don't see the point of it. Mood and categories.
Oh. I think they're important. I think for people who are posting and not necessarily sure how to word things, I think being able to select them is quite helpful, and it also helps you to filter your feed. I appreciate that sometimes you might not be able to find the exact mood or the exact category that fits what you're about to say, but I do think they can be helpful. I don't know, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think they're a good starting point. They help, before I'm posting, they help me capture how I'm feeling at that early stage.
I think the categories is good because, like you say, you can filter them from the left-hand menu at the moment, and that allows you to go and see the things that you want to look at. And if you don't have those categories, how would you be able to filter your feed in that way?
I don't think we're removing mood and categories. It is a nice way to break down the feed, and I think they're really good answers there. Not curious anymore. Could you please conduct some kind of personality test, short quiz for the newbies when they sign up on the app? This would greatly help them to understand the app, and you can use this to categorize people where they belong.
Ooh.
Segmenting people as they come into the application. What do you think?
I think it's difficult to categorize people where they belong. And I think what we wanted to do with TalkLife was just really focus on bringing people together. I think the second you start trying to diagnose people and put them in boxes, it becomes a bit icky. There's other places I think you can go to if you want to find out more about what you might be struggling with. But what we're trying to do on TalkLife, and I think what people like about the community is that you can just kind of come on and start talking.
Yeah, definitely. And if you put that kind of barrier of having to do a quiz or something beforehand, those people who might be in need won't have that instant ability to ask those questions.
Yeah.
I think you could do, as it gets busier and busier and we bring on more and more people into the community, there's about 2,000 sign-ups a day going into TalkLife at the moment. There will come a time where we need to break people down into groups, but at the moment, I don't think that's needed. Thank you for the suggestion. Sirius A, can you guys bring up voice messages? Because sometimes it's easier to send a voice message than typing.
I think that was on quite a few. There were quite a few questions about that. Like, is there going to be a voice message feature?
For years, I think we've had voice messaging.
Yeah. Have you used voice messaging in other apps? How have you found it?
People use it in WhatsApp quite a lot.
Yeah, I've used it a few times in WhatsApp. I think for an app like TalkLife, the text and having a bit of time to think about what you're writing can sometimes be quite helpful. Yeah. Whenever I end up doing a recorded message or something like WhatsApp, I just end up talking nonsense and it ends up getting a bit silly.
I guess maybe if you... People here probably talking about kind of the private messaging, they're wanting it in the same way that you would use it in WhatsApp rather than the feed. But again, it's about... I think it is a bit lazy using voice messaging.
Let's test
I'm all for typing.
I think we could test it. I think it's a feature we could put into some beta and see how it goes. I'm not against the idea. I'm not really for the idea. I'm against video, I think, in a live video or video calling. I don't think that's the place of TalkLife, but I think voice memos could be cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for the suggestion. Not curious anymore. You've got more questions.
Very curious.
Very curious. I saw a lot of people wanting an option to block comments. What if situations will be like... I think there's other posts here about blocking comments on... being able to lock your post and being able to remove comments on your post. Again, this is something we've been discussing for maybe 5 or 6 years on TalkLife.
And I think what I was just reading there, which was part of the question, was what happens if someone posts asking for help or needing help and they've locked the comments and then people are seeing the post and not able to help? I think there was some concern about what do you do in that situation.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I think before we start allowing people to remove comments and censor posts, when we've run little experiments in the past, it's been about, well, I want to remove the comments that I don't like, or I don't want this feedback, or I just don't like this person. And I think that's it goes to a really interesting place when you start removing the content that you don't like just because you don't like it, versus things that should be moderated out of the post. If they should be moderated, they should be removed anyway. But if it's purely that you don't like the content coming through, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think in a healthy community, you should be able to share your views, and we should be able to take all sorts of views, whether it's the left or the right or the people who believe in...
That's what TalkLife's about. It's about getting all those different people's opinions, because you never know who might actually provide you with something that helps. And by starting to be able to kind of cleanse those answers that you're looking for, I don't think that's what TalkLife's necessarily about.
I think some of the most helpful comments that I've received in the past have been the ones that are a little bit hard to hear because they're not necessarily what I wanted, or they're a bit different to how I kind of would view things. So
they're the ones that make you think for the next couple of days. So
like,
if you have to make changes at all.
Yeah, sometimes you can feel a bit kind of, ouch, I didn't like hearing that, but maybe it's quite helpful.
I do like the idea of being able to post to specific groups. And this is definitely something we're exploring, whether you could post to your friends, followers, or share something. So similar to what we do privately, where you can share your own post, being able to share to your friends group. So that is definitely something we're exploring, but I don't like the idea of removing content. About TalkLife Dark theme for a website version. Web version, if there is a petition in TalkLife that says update the web version, we'll do it. But for now, it just doesn't have the users compared to iOS, Android, and I was going to say Amazon, but that's still Android. But for now, there's no updates coming to the web platform.
I think there's something around people were wanting to know when it was people's birthdays so that everyone could kind of send them a birthday message, but I don't know how I feel about that.
I like Cake Day. I really like Cake Day on other networks. It might be something that we can bring in. automated posts for your birthday. TalkLife did actually, if you hit the search, you can actually see there's automated birthday posts in there. And then it was like, that's fine, a couple hundred people. Oh, it's 10,000 people. Oh, it's 50,000 people. And then the post was just insane, full of birthdays. And then we had people changing their birthday to get birthday posts. And I like it. I think you could do a little cake day symbol next to their post when they come up.
Yeah, I think that's
birthday
nice.
Cake.
It doesn't just have to be birthdays. It could be special occasions as well.
Mm-hmm. Like an anniversary or something, or
Yeah.
should we start diving into any other special occasions, you think?
I've got some coming up, perhaps. Like some cake.
Happy Go Lucky mentioned the same, being able to lock down your post. I think we've answered that one. And the ability to delete comments on posts. Again, I've touched on this. Let us play with the filters of who you're posting to. Alyssa, who's a brand new buddy, welcome to the buddy team, and awesome to have you as a volunteer in buddy training. I'm in opposition to the idea that followers, following, and hearts received on someone's profile is a good idea. By directly exposing such metrics, TalkLife could slowly become a popularity contest. Yeah, I mean, this is again something that we've had a lot of clinical governance on over the last X amount of years. There are practical reasons why it's helpful to see who you're following and not following, and it's not about... I think we've worked really hard over the years to remove the elements that make it about a popularity contest, like the super hearts or things that you can earn on your profile. We've removed them, but it's actually nice to be able to see who you're following and who other people are following. I don't think that's causing...
It helps to build community.
Yeah.
I think people can go on to somebody else, see who they follow, and see who they might want to follow themselves. I think it's quite helpful to see that.
Yeah, and I find like if someone gives me useful advice, I want to follow them because I want to see what else they post. And if I didn't have that functionality, how would I be able to?
I think this is more about showing it on your profile.
Oh, okay.
So showing how many followers you have, and it does add credibility to those in the community that you can trust and those that have been there a long time, and you can go in and, there are benefits to it. I think the overwhelming majority of people would want that content there, and I don't think it's creating a popularity contest of who's got the most followers. And if you are in that mindset where you're saying, I don't have as many followers, it's not about that. TalkLife isn't about that at all. So yeah. Demon in the corner. Could we be able to write more than 20 keywords? I already need at least 5 to properly block out one topic.
This is about filtering your own feed so that you don't see certain topics coming through.
Yeah. If you didn't know, you can set the trigger words in your settings as well if you don't want to see certain posts or comments coming up in the feed. And you can turn those trigger warnings off as well if you've got too many of them coming through. Yeah, I think we could definitely do that. Let's add that to the list.
It would be helpful as well to hear from you what type of content you want to block that you're struggling to block at the moment. So we've got what we think are the key areas, but have we missed any? Should there be more in there?
Lila. It would be, I'm really nailing these names. It would be helpful to me a lot if you do something about the DMs. They used to work and now they don't. If you're having issues with messaging, you need to let us know what issues you're having. I think we've nailed most of the messaging challenges that we have. At the moment, TalkLife sends around 15 million messages per month. A small percentage of handsets and devices are still having issues. So if you're one of those people, make sure you email us, support@talklife.co, or reach out to us on one of our posts and tell us what's actually going on and what the issues are that you're facing. Beautiful Minds, thank you for such a nice comment. I really appreciate that. I'm glad that TalkLife has been helpful to you. Lynn said, dude, please make an optional to no comment allow for the post. We're hearing you.
Yeah.
Okay. Tan, go invisible to some users. Tan, you can hide people in your settings, or you can also turn off messaging if you need to as well. Butters, this is an interesting question. Why can a person change their gender?
It's not so much that a person can change their gender. A person's always been able to change their gender on TalkLife as a user feature. But we wanted to recognise the fact that gender means so many different things to so many different people, and we wanted to give people the freedom to kind of enter what that is. I don't think it's necessarily that we've introduced changing gender, it's just expressing yourself more.
Yeah. Butters has lots of questions. I'm just going to pick out the top. We've probably only got time for a few more. I'm rushing through them. Max Lynn said, I also prefer you not to give me sub. I'm serious, please don't give me sub. Okay, Max.
But someone else asked.
He's got a sub.
Yeah, I think someone asked about
Anderson.
subs.
Yeah, Anderson was asking, what's the hero badge? Can you explain how it works?
Yeah, if you haven't checked out Heroes yet, we've got about 190 TalkLife heroes and patrons, which is so amazing. Maybe a little bit more, actually. It's a way that you can give back to this community, help us to sustain ourselves, help us to keep going, but also unlock some really cool content. Highlights, profile covers,
Boosts.
boosts.
And you can gift a free sub to someone else.
That's right. If you do become a hero, you can gift someone else a hero sub as well in the platform. So 2 for 1.
Yep. Have a look in the sidebar. You can see all of the benefits there.
Yeah.
Rankings on the profiles. What are the rankings, and how do you move up a rank? This is a question we've had for a very long time, and we've never really told you how to do it.
And we never will.
It's a secret.
I can say that it's based on activity on the network. There are certain actions that you do within the app that will boost your rank. If you spend time on the newbies feed and you help new people, maybe your rank will go up faster, but it's, there could even be some hidden ranks that no one knows about yet. But I think my rank is, I don't even think, I'm nowhere near the top, which is
We did go through and find out who had the highest rank at one point, didn't we?
Yeah, I think there's a few that are sitting up there now, but we don't actually know if that's the highest.
I still
rank,
don't know
do
the
we?
secret sauce because I asked when I joined, and I've climbed up slowly, but I have no idea.
What rank are you?
I need to check.
3 or...
I've got a final question here, which is around super hearts. What are they, and how can you give them to people?
Super hearts are a really cool way that you can give someone, you can go over and above to give someone a super heart on their comments. You earn super hearts by getting hearts on your own comments.
I obviously haven't got enough hearts on my comments.
You also get a super heart each month that you can give out to someone else as well. They get that little highlight on their comments, so you can see you've got those little highlights there. And they also get given a super heart highlight, and you can see the super hearts on their profile as well. Supportive Laurie, who's also a brand new buddy, welcome to the team. Fantastic comments. I've seen lots of awesome comments and support coming through.
Oh, we've got some incredible buddies coming through. Watch this space. I've said that already before this video, but it's true. We've got some really great people that I'm about to set live in the next few days. So yeah, really excited about that.
So Laurie asked, why can't pictures go into the recent folder? It only goes to random and most don't look there. We've tried to keep photos out of the most recent feed just because they take up a massive amount of space, and it's not really what TalkLife is about. When we created the random feed, it was an idea to be able to share content in another place. We didn't specifically want them going into the most recent feed. There are actually a lot of people that are looking at the random feed as well. Okay, I said that I'd give away 10 hero subs to people involved in this video. If you got to the end of this video, leave a heart, leave a comment, ring the bell, subscribe, all of that jazz. I'm going to choose some people to give us hero subs out to. I may do more than 10. It's Halloween, so let's see how we go. But yeah, any final thoughts?
I'm looking forward to getting my costume on later.
What costume have you got?
I'm dressing up as Ted.
It's raining outside.
We'll post pictures of that.
All right, have a great day.
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween. Take care.
Bye.